This is a presentation of the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Any other use of this telecast or any pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the Oklahoma Sports Network's consent is prohibited. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be used without express written consent.
And good evening, everyone. Welcome to another edition of the Mid-Dell Sports Report. I'm Jordan Ray. Very happy to be with you here at Buffalo Wild Wings in Del City. And be sure to come to Buffalo Wild Wings in Del City for lots of reasons. They got a lot of specials going on here at 5500 Tinker Diagonal. You can also come support your favorite Carl Albert winter sports team. And we're talking Carl Albert girls basketball. We're about to talk about them in a moment. Boys basketball, wrestling, and swimming. And, of course, they have different specials going on. We're in the midst of hoop season, so you can catch a lot of different games going on, whether it's OU, OSU, or the Thunder. Of course, a lot of them played last night, but, any night of the week. And, by the way, those fundraisers are available any night of the week as well up until March 31st. 10% of your proceeds can go to your favorite Carl Albert or any other Mid-Dell winter sports team. Also, we want to thank Toonie Bice Houses for being our other sponsor here. Toonie Bice Houses, we buy homes in any condition. If you or someone you know needs to sell a home for any reason, please call us today at 405-931-3046 for a cash offer. Let's go and talk Carl Albert girls basketball first. We want to show you one more time the card for Carl Albert girls basketball. And, again, this goes till March 31st. So download this to your phone, come by, and you can help support the girls' basketball team. Now let's go ahead and show you the district standings after last night's game where Carl Albert beat Shawnee in a rematch of a game they lost earlier this year by a score of 49-44. What you can see is that Shawnee has a half-game lead because they played more games. And they also have the tiebreaker by the slimmest of margins. They also have a tougher schedule left as they have to play El Reno next week. Carl Albert has 3 remaining home games. Let's go ahead and talk to some of these Lady Titans here. I'm happy to be joined by their 3 seniors. In no particular order, actually is in order. Asha Moore, Shelby, is it Roosh? Rushi. Okay, sometimes struggle with that one. And Laney Moore. Happy to be joined by all 3 of you. First of all, let's state the obvious. Asha and Laney, you're not related, right?
Yeah, we are. We are, yes.
Okay.
I'm just kidding. No, we're not.
That was fun. I think last year you had a couple other players with the last name Moore on the team. And
we had 4. Yeah, we had Tori. Yeah, Tori Moore.
And none of you were related? Was it?
No.
So I thought that was fascinating. And I do remember games we would announce, and if they would come in after you 2 would play, I would like to say, oh, there's more and more Moores out there. Anyway, but it's just the 2 of you now. Okay, so let's talk about the very important win last night against Shawnee. So they beat you 41-33 in January. Mm-hmm. I'll ask all 3 of you, what went better for you? Obviously you scored more points, but what specifically did you do better?
You want me to go
Asha, let's start with you.
I felt like this time around we played more like a team. I feel like the first loss, we had a lot of finger pointing. We had a lot of he said, she said. We didn't really take any accountability. So I think as the season's progressed, we've really gotten closer as a team. We've really established leadership roles. And I think for 1, that was it. And for 2, it was definitely the rebounding. We cleaned that up a lot. And we ended up winning the game. I think we did those 2 things really well.
Shelby, what do you think?
I think we knew that we have something on the line, and if we weren't going to get that done, we weren't hosting. Mm-hmm. So that brought more energy to the game and got the job done.
Mm-hmm. Sure. Laney?
I just think that team bonding has just gotten better, and everybody's just, playing their role on the team now, and we've just, all accepted our roles, and we've just came into realization of what we need to do.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but Shelby, you mentioned hosting. So does Coach Ritchie, does he mention that a bit? Like, hey, this is what's at stake here, the potential to No one's catching El Reno, but you can finish second, you still host.
Yes, that's our ultimate goal, is to host and then go from there.
Okay, so this brings up an interesting question for me. Since they beat you by 8, if you had to get a tiebreaker against them, you had to win by 9. Did he even say that to you? Or
He's talked about it a little bit.
okay,
Yeah.
that's because this is brand new to Oklahoma high school basketball. This
Yeah.
district thing where now winning by a certain margin can matter a lot. I've dealt with it now in football, but it's new in basketball. So, but ultimately, you just need to get the win.
Right.
So now that you have that underway, let's talk about how the season's going. One of the things interesting about you guys being seniors, you guys have had to rely a lot on several sophomores. So these 4 sophomores who play a lot, do they ever drive you nuts, or how do you think their development's going? Because you guys have to rely on them for quite a bit.
Okay, I'll go first. I think they're really, I think they're great, honestly, and I think they excel with the kind of pressure that's put on them, because I kind of thought about it like, I already have a scholarship, right, for a different sport, so I can just go out there and I can just play my game. But I know for them, they want to go to college and play basketball, so I know that they have that weight on them, and I know how that feels. So, people can say what they want, but I'm always proud of them. I think that they go out there and they prove themselves every single game.
Okay. Anything to add there?
They're young, but
Yeah.
I think they mature every game and get better every single game as the year
Yes.
goes on.
I think their maturity has definitely grown over this season too. Just seeing how much they have improved in all their skills and stuff like that.
Sometimes when I watch them, I'm like, yeah, I could see you see the upside, but you can also see they'll do a couple things that might drive the coach nuts. So,
Right. Yeah.
Anyway, but that's sophomores for you. And if they play, they're obviously talented. So.
Right.
And Skylar was back, right?
Yeah, yesterday, yeah.
And how did she do? I know she was in some, but I couldn't watch the whole game.
To me, she did great. I mean, she did fine. I know she missed 8 or 9 games, and it's kind of been a struggle, but Evie stepped up off the bench a lot, and I'm excited to see where she goes from here. I know she's still kind of finding her way back into her groove, but I love her. I think she's a great player, and I'm glad that she's back.
Evie's also here, I believe. So
Oh, that's my girl.
glad that she came to visit. Okay, now when she went out, that opened up more playing time, not just for Evie, but it felt like for both of you, Shelby and Laney. So obviously you didn't want to see her get hurt, but when you find out she's going to be gone a few games, does that change anything as far as your approach to the game?
No, I just knew that Richie wanted me to bring the energy and don't overdo my role, and I knew what my role was. So
Okay.
I feel like we're just so deep on the bench too. Even if somebody does eventually get hurt or something like that, you can always just come off the bench, and we should have enough trust in our players that we'll be good.
Yeah, I know. Coach Richie's bringing in some freshmen too from time to time.
Oh yeah.
So, I mean, next year's team interesting, but you guys can't think about that. So,
Yeah.
Laney, so I believe you came here from Choctaw.
No,
Is that right? I've mixed up with someone else then.
I actually moved here from Arkansas.
Oh, Arkansas. Okay. So your family moved to Midwest City.
Yes.
Okay. Well, is it very different?
I mean-
as far as the high school basketball scene.
The high school basketball is definitely different up here. It's more intense, I feel like, coming from a small school to a big school in the city. But I just feel like the team here is way better. All around, we have better players than what I had back home.
Okay. And then Shelby, you've been here the full 4 years? Okay.
Yes.
And how do you feel like your game has improved or changed specifically over these past 4 years?
I've always been a defensive player, but
Yeah.
Richie told me to start shooting a little bit, so I've been trying.
Okay. Well, to go with that, you need some confidence. Do you think you have enough?
I'm getting there.
Okay. Are you confident shooting threes?
No.
All right. Well, you still got some time to practice that.
Yeah.
Asha, I feel like you've been shooting more threes this year. I mean, someone has to fill in the shooting for players like Cam and
Yeah.
Diaz as well. But
Yes.
how is that something that you made a point to work on during the season?
Not really, honestly. I think a lot of it was Coach Banks always told me, like, I had the skill. But in the game, like, when I was a sophomore and junior, like, I made a few moves, but I wasn't really confident. But I think confidence goes a long way. Honestly, I just be letting it fly. Hopefully it go in. Because, I mean, somebody got to shoot. So that's what I be doing.
Well, I mean, you wouldn't have won the McGinnis game without you doing that.
Yeah, that was a terrible game at first.
Yeah. Were you down 18 early in the third quarter? And that's also when Skylar got hurt, so
Yeah.
that was part of it. But
Yeah, once she went down, I knew that somebody kind of had to step up because she does take a lot of shots. But I don't know, I was seeing openings, and it was just kind of going our way. And I'm glad that we won that game. But, you know, I talked to Richie after that. I knew we had to change something because you can't be down 20 points in the third quarter and expect to win every game. So
yeah, not at home, too.
Right.
But,
First round, too.
Yeah.
Whole school watching.
But do you keep in touch with it's Ari, it's Cam, and I forgot the third. senior
Kennedy.
Calca for Kenny, yes. Yeah, do you keep in touch with any of them?
Yes, we both do. She's really close with Cam. I keep up with Kennedy and Ari sometimes. So
And so with them being gone, I mean, you were the most experienced player. What was that like? Because now, like, you're the old man on the team. You know?
in the beginning, it was definitely different. I wasn't taking a lot of shots even when I was open. I was kind of trying to let the sophomores kind of lead the team. And I'm not going to say that wasn't working, but I knew I had to step up in a leadership role, whether that was talking, whether that was defense, rebounding, scoring. And I kind of stepped up with that scoring, but I'm excited once that Skylar's back. And with these two playing too, they provide good minutes and points off the bench. So it was definitely weird because I felt like the outsider because they've been playing with each other for a long time. But now that the season's progressing, it feels like the last team that we had.
Okay. And Lainey, I got to admit, I'm not just saying this, but when you come in, sometimes I think the refs pick on you. You ever feel that way?
Yeah.
You can say it here.
Yeah.
In other words, and what I specifically mean is you'll be very well positioned vertically on defense, and they still think you, like, breathe too hard on the shooter or something. Do you ever feel that?
I mean, coming from like being kind of tall and you have these
Yeah.
tiny little point guards coming in at me, I don't think sometimes they don't think that they're actually coming at me like full force, but they do. But they just don't want to call the charge half the time.
Maybe they exaggerate the contact a bit.
Yeah.
Okay. What's Coach Richie like? Because one thing I'll say about him that I know, I'm not around him nearly as much as you ladies are. Already, hope we get some funny answers here. So he's great at yelling, raising his voice and yelling, but you can tell he's not angry when he does it. Like, you can tell, you hear him yell, you can hear his voice, but you're like, yeah, he's not angry. So anyway, does he ever get angry?
Oh, yeah, he
Okay.
be getting angry. I think he gets angry a lot because he knows the potential that we have, and we don't live up to that all the time. But I think a lot of it is you kind of have to listen to what he's saying and not how he's saying it. And me and him, we butted heads a lot in the past and still sometimes to this day, but, like, you will never question his loyalty to his players. I mean, he's loyal to us. He does right by us. He does things when nobody's looking, you know. And honestly, I be thinking people hating him for no reason, you know. Like, that's my guy. As we've gotten older and as we've grown in our relationship, like, that's my guy. I love Coach Richie.
Shelby, what do you think? What can you say about Coach Richie?
You never know what to expect.
Yeah.
He's usually in a goofy mood, and it's fun to be around.
All right. And Lainey, I mean, you've had, I guess, you played for a different coach as a freshman and sophomore, so I don't know if that was a big change under Coach Richie.
I mean, definitely coming here, he's very passionate about basketball.
Yeah.
And it's just like not culture shock, but it's definitely different than what I'm expected or I'm used to. So it was definitely different, but I feel like it's different for the better.
And we don't want to leave out Coach Banks.
Oh,
yeah.
'Cause he's been there the whole time,
Love
too.
Coach
I
Banks.
love Coach Banks. Like, I don't feel like our team could function without him. He's so good with this. I don't want to sound weird, but he's so good, like, just females, just young girls, just knowing how we feel because, you know, he has a young daughter as well. He can relate to us a lot. He played overseas basketball, so he knows what he's talking about, and he's always trying to crack a joke, so we always get, like, he's never really in a bad mood, so he's really like the mediator at practice, I feel like.
Yeah. Now, Asha, I mean, when we think about some of the tougher games you may have coming up, whether it's against, Del City or in the playoffs, or Lawton MacArthur, maybe Midwest City, an area, and you've already experienced Del Reno, and you often have to guard the team's biggest player.
Mm-hmm.
Was that ever did you ever wish like they had, besides Laney, other taller players where you could play more on the wing on defense, or do you like playing the defensive post? Let's say.
I like playing the post. I like being physical. Let me tell you my trick. My trick is when they go up for the rebound, you gotta pinch their fat. And a lot of people wonder how I get a lot of rebounds. That's really how it is. I think guarding the post could be harder than guarding a guard, because Essence, right? She often guards the best player on the floor, the point guard. Yeah. She's sliding her feet 32 minutes. So I think that's definitely harder than banging around with a big girl. But
okay. Well, I could see you got to go up against, Deanna Douglas again. She'll be, I'm sure she's not happy that she went 0-2 against you in the last 2 seasons. So
who is that?
It's Midwest City Center.
Oh, yeah. Hey, she's good. Yeah, she's good.
And then, you got Shelby Thornton for Del City, and I think El Reno's got a couple of good post players. So.
El Reno's post players are really good. I think they're better than a lot of post players because, I don't know, they're fundamentally sound.
Right.
You cut them off from the middle, they're going right back to the left shoulder. So I think they're really fundamentally sound.
So Shelby, what makes El Reno or teams like that you got up against Shawnee tough? Because those are some teams you may go up against in the playoffs, and I know they got you once without Skylar. They got you early in the season when you're still, you're the more inexperienced team as far as replacing seniors. They didn't have any seniors to replace. Mm-hmm. But what can you say about some of those tough teams in your district?
They have size, and we're not really that big. But I think as the year goes on, we're getting better at guarding that. And our help defense, everything's getting better. So I think we're to that point where we can stop them when we need to.
What do you think, Laney? You have to guard some of those players too.
I mean, I feel like teams like El Reno, they've grown up together, it seems like. I mean, I don't really know since I came here last year, but you can tell that their chemistry is tight. They know their spots and what they're supposed to do.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you know what, Matt, let's show the district standings one more time. So, you girls can't see this currently, but you guys, again, 1 game behind Shawnee, and you're going to have 3 home games left. We're going to have the one tomorrow against Crossings and the one against Altus on Tuesday, so senior night for you 3 to get recognized. And Shawnee, you have to hope they lose one more time, and they're going to play El Reno on that same Tuesday. Do you ever scoreboard watch after the game, see how the other games went?
Usually,
that's going to become important.
Richie keeps us updated pretty much. So.
All right, so tell us about again. They'll be on tomorrow against Crossings, and then again Tuesday against Altus. So can you believe senior night's coming?
Yes, I can. I can. I have a lot. We're all going to college, so we all have a lot to look forward to. Mm-hmm. I was talking to Banks today. I'm definitely I'm going to miss it, but I'm excited to not move on, but I'm excited for the next chapter.
Yeah, well, this is it for you for basketball, and then after the season's all softball, and then you go to college. I believe is college softball in the spring. Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so you got some time to prepare for that at North Texas. Mm-hmm. But when is the seniors get recognized? Is it halftime of the boys' game?
Yes.
And you girls will be dressing up.
So
we're gonna be.
That's happened in the past, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes. This year we're just gonna just match with some jeans, and we're gonna wear our jerseys, do our hair and our makeup and stuff like that.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay,
halftime of the boys' game, so you want to watch that. The interesting thing is, being friends with Coach Ritchie on Facebook, I'll see they seem to always have some occasion to dress up. The players last year did. So.
Yeah.
And not there's anything wrong with that. It's wow, there's another function where they got to wear some very nice looking dresses, but that seems like every few weeks. All right, so ladies, thank you very much. We look forward to your next 2 games, and then hopefully you'll get that home game in the playoffs. So it kind of sounds weird to say because I know they're a big rival for you, but we're rooting for El Reno on Tuesday to beat Shawnee. Probably the best chance you have of catching them. That is Shawnee. reminder one more time, you can support the Carl Albert girls basketball team by coming to Buffalo Wild Wings here in Dale City between now, March 31st, any day of the week. Show them this picture. If you need help downloading it to your phone, just contact the Oklahoma Sports Network. We'll help you with that. The girls basketball team at Carl Albert will get 10% of the proceeds. And be sure to tune into the Oklahoma Sports Network for 2 of their next 3 games against Crossings, Altus, and then we hope to have their playoff games, whether they're hosting or they're at Lon MacArthur. So one of the two, either way, we'll have those games on. And we'll look forward to that. Ladies, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
Go Titans. Shout out Coach Ritchie and Coach Banks.
You heard it there.
What's that? And Maples. And Maples, yeah.
All right, coming up, we talk Carl Albert boys basketball right here on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
College is more than just going to class. College is a journey. It's meeting new people and making new friendships that will last a lifetime. It's learning from professors who care about you and your success. And finding out it can be really fun and rewarding. It's discovering that thing you want to do for the rest of your life. Cameron University is all about helping you grow and succeed. Because your success is our success.
Red Plains Plumbing has been offering reliable commercial and residential services to the OKC metro area for over a decade. From new construction and remodeling to residential repair, they can handle jobs of all sizes. When you need a trusted name in plumbing, it's Red Plains Plumbing. Family owned and operated. Phone 405-769-1922. That's 405-769-1922.
When it comes to your home, you need someone that you can trust to keep it safe and protected for you and your family.
Vesta Foundation Solutions is your local, family-owned company that has helped many homeowners fix and protect their homes.
Our engineered solutions can take care of all of your foundation repair, basement waterproofing, concrete leveling, and dirt crawl space repair needs.
We take pride in getting the job done right, and you'll always be protected with up to a 75-year warranty.
Contact us today for a free estimate.
Where sports is our middle name. We are the Oklahoma Sports Network.
All right, welcome back to the Middale Sports Report on the Oklahoma Sports Network. Again, this show is brought to you by Toonie Buys Houses. We buy houses in any conditions. If you or someone you know needs to sell a home for any reason, please call today for a cash offer at 405-931-3046. All right, and also come to Buffalo Wild Wings to support Carl Albert boys basketball. We'll show you the card real quick. But anytime between now and March 31st, you can show them this card, and Buffalo Wild Wings or the Carl Albert boys basketball team will receive 10% of the proceeds. This goes for any Middale sports team, a winter sports team that is. But we want to definitely highlight Carl Albert boys basketball right now. And right now we get to talk to Coach Price, Carl Albert boys head coach. First, let's show the standings. So this is similar to the girls' standings in that Carl Albert currently is third, but unlike the girls, Carl Albert boys control their own destiny with a big win against Guthrie this past Friday, and then they beat Shawnee yesterday. Of course, they do have a tougher schedule because Crossings on the boys' side is a beast of a team, as we're going to talk about. But let's go ahead and show the score from yesterday's game. They beat Shawnee 67-43. And let's go and talk to Coach Price about this. All right, Coach, let's actually go back to the Guthrie game. We had the first game on the Oklahoma Sports Network. They blitzed you in the second half. You know, you can talk more about that. And they won by, I want to say, 8.
Yes.
And so I know you may have been a goal to win by more than 8, and you end up winning by 19 at their place. Your team's a little different since then. I'm sure Guthrie may have been different in some ways, but basically the same team, same coach teams and all that. What can you say about why you guys, were able to play so well against Guthrie the second time around?
Well, I think it shows the maturity that we've had in our team and some of the growth with some of the younger players. And that's what you look at from early on in a season. You don't want to lose any games, obviously, but when you do, you have to assess why and take a look at the things that you need to get better at. And we've got some young players coming off the bench, and one sophomore starting for us, and we've had a couple of sophomores start for us. But just seeing how they've progressed as players and how our team has grown together as a team, I think is the difference there. And you look at a Guthrie team, and early on I thought they were, they're very athletic, very just dynamic in how they play defense, very aggressive. And we weren't very seasoned for that. And I think over time in our schedule and some of the games we've played, we've grown up a lot to be able to handle some of that athleticism and aggressive play. And our kids did a really good job coming out the other night and kind of setting the tone really early on, and us being the aggressors and kind of setting us up for the night that we had.
Yeah, so since we last talked 3 weeks ago, you went to the Moore tournament. You played in the championship game at Moore. And you came up short, but that's obviously a good game to be able to play.
Yeah,
and then
for sure.
And then you haven't lost since. And so you talked about it. So you got some young players that are getting bigger roles here. Talk more about those players. And then when you say sophomores, starting in Jaden Hopkins.
Yes.
Quincy's younger brother. And Anderson started a lot for you, or played a lot.
Yes.
And who else you got?
Well, particularly those two. Jaden has been a starter for us for if not the whole season, a big part of the season. And he's done a great job, really grown up and learned how to handle things at the 5A varsity level. And Steven has really come along. He's been basically our sixth man. He started a few games through some transitions that we had on our team. But he comes off the bench and really adds a scoring punch for us. He's handles the ball well. He can defend well. He's just a good all-around player, and he's really started to become more aggressive scoring. Some other ones, we've got Brandon Rogers, who is also a sophomore who comes off the bench for us, who is just a really good spot-up shooter, really good defender, plays hard. He's a very fundamental type player that, does the blockouts and takes charges and some of the grunt work, that not everybody does, and he's excellent at that. And then we also have LeBron Royal, who's a sophomore as well. And LeBron's coming off the bench, bringing some physicality and just some aggressiveness and some toughness that we need. And he does a great job of that. And, of course, when I say younger players, that's kind of what I approach. I'm thinking of the sophomores. But, of course, Marcus James has now stepped in as a junior for us, playing in that post role for us and kind of a big man role.
He's very new.
And, we've also got some freshmen that haven't got a lot of varsity time yet, just due to our depth and kind of what we have already. But we've got some freshmen coming on that are going to be able to jump in before too long and be a part of what we're doing. And they've shown some glimpses of, some really good improvement and things like that. So we're really, really excited about that.
So you mentioned Marcus. If he's in foul trouble or you got to arrest him, is it LeBron Royal who's taken that task of being the inside defender and the paint guy?
Yeah, for the most part. We kind of assess the game situation, see what it's like. If we can substitute a guard in, we'll go with Steve Anderson, let him go in, and we'll just rotate Quincy or Ryan to play a bigger role as far as post-type defense. But, if it's somebody they've got a post presence, or we really need to be focused on rebounding a little more, they'll put LeBron in there and let him do the job. And man, he's been really good for us doing that. He's a tough kid, really is.
Speaking of Quincy, let's go ahead and show what he achieved last night. So there's the post game picture of him celebrating his 1,000 points.
Yes. Yep.
What can you say about the career he's had? Because I know he's been doing this for you as a starter since he was a sophomore.
That's right. Yeah. Well, as a freshman, he got to play a little bit, just kind of some mop up. Got a few points there, but just kind of learning the role and learning what it's like to be in that position to play at a varsity level. And then, he's been a starter for us as a sophomore, junior, and now this year is senior year. But he has consistently grown as a player and a young man. And, just to see his improvement for his game. And, there's still some things he needs to work on. But overall, he's really worked to try to be better at some things that he had weaknesses, so he could be coached. You tell him, hey, man, this is something you need to get better at. And he'd work to get better at it. And he's really shown a huge maturity in just being a leader for our team and stepping in and kind of taking everybody on his shoulders and, taking that role for us. And it's just been tremendous to watch him grow as a player and as a young man. And, it was really cool the other night. We were up on Elgin, enough where I could have probably taken him out of the game, but he was only 3 points away. And so we left him in, and sure enough, we ran a little set to him, and he stuck a 3 right in front of our bench. And so we took a timeout and let our team celebrate with him and that kind of thing. So it was a really neat way for him to do it. But, yeah, just over time, that shows his what type of quality player he is, and just the endurance that he's gone through for the 4 years he's been involved in our program.
Yeah, that elbow jumper looks as lethal as ever.
Yeah, that's tough.
So what's brand new for you, and because you've been doing this for a while, but the district play, the way this works now with tiebreakers and stuff, I believe, and you knew going into the Guthrie game that they beat you by 8, and if you're like, well, we need to surpass them, we need to win it, we want to win a tiebreaker, we can do that if we win by 9 or more.
Yes.
What's it like as a coach dealing with that? Because the main thing he wants to win, but, you have to think about standings and stuff like that.
Yeah, so, absolutely. It's very different. You have to go in with a little bit different mindset where, late in the game you may be up a number of points and you can just throw some young kids out there, let them get some experience and things like that. But there's certain situations you got to kind of hang on and watch out. Guthrie made a little run at us up at their place the other night and cut it down to, I think it was 8 or 9, somewhere in there, and kind of got it close. And, I got a little bit nervous on that, just not necessarily that we were afraid of anything happening as far as the game itself. I mean, obviously you always do as a coach, you're worried about that, but we were able to rebound from that and kind of stretch it back out. But you do have to think about that. And it was interesting because I was walking up and down the sideline, and, we had pushed it to, I think, 11 or 12, and I walked towards one end of the bench, and one of my coaches goes, "Hey, man, don't forget about the 9." And I go to the other end of the bench, and one of my coaches says, "Hey, don't forget about the 9." I was like, I've been thinking about the 9 the whole entire game. So, yes, it's very different. And you certainly don't want to use that as a way to embarrass another team or do anything like that. But in the back of your mind, you still have to know that, 15's the cap. And if somebody beat you by 8, you need to beat them by 9. And we've talked about some funny scenarios, if you're up by, in that case, let's say we're up by 8 and there's 20 seconds left in the game. Normally you would hold the ball and try to make them come and foul. But, we might take a timeout and set up a play so we can make sure we get a bucket, something like that, just to know that we can do that. Or, they might back off and just let you run the clock out because they know that you need to win by 8. Or 9, and they're going to let you win by 8 and leave it alone. So it's kind of it adds a little bit of feature to your strategy a little bit. We haven't had to deal with that too much yet, but it definitely is on our minds. And being second and being third in the district is huge. So you want to try to be in that spot if you have a chance to.
Yeah, if you're third, you probably go to Dale City.
Yeah, that's what it looks like right now.
Second, you host Claude MacArthur. Not that that's easy, but you're still home.
You're at home. You got to feel better about that. Yeah.
Yeah. And, well, the interesting thing is, you said 8. If it was right at 8. Then who knows what happens, because then it'll come down to district points and you've got games to play. So, and what's also interesting is how does the other team play it? Do they, make a blitz and it becomes a different type of game.
It does.
And I'll never forget this year seeing it in football when Midwest City played Elgin. They had to stay within 10 points to host, and when it got to 10 late in the game, and it was very different strategies and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So
it makes you think a little bit. You got to think a little differently.
Yes, but the thing is, and you mentioned about maybe you don't want to run up the score, but if you're playing a team that you're worried about a tiebreaker against, that's a team that's close to you anyway, obviously, since Guthrie beat you guys. So, yes, that makes things very different, and it definitely makes for some scoreboard watching from my end. I can tell you that.
It does.
Okay, so let's talk about crossings now. You just need a win in this game to stay in position to get a 2 seed.
Right.
Well, first off, there's a lot of questions to ask about this. This game, if I'm not mistaken, was originally scheduled for Friday, January 26th.
Yes.
And it got moved to Thursday. So
yes.
It puts you in a situation where you got 3 games in 4 days, but at least they're all at home.
Yes.
So how did that come about? Because this has been on the schedule for a while. It's not a makeup game.
No, and so when we first set up the district schedule, we talked. Crossings called and said, "Hey, we've got a rivalry game that night that we already had scheduled before the districts even got set up with Oklahoma Christian, and that's one of their big rivals, big game, big gate game, big fans, all that kind of stuff." And so we talked it over, and he says, "Man, we have nowhere else to put it. Can we reschedule our game?" And so we started looking for dates, and at first I didn't like it because of how our schedule has been lopsided with on the road. We had 12 games in a row. Yeah. Came back and played 1 game at home, I think, and then played 2 more games on the road. and then now we're back at home for 4 in a row. So it's kind of odd and a little awkward, but honestly it works out okay because, we do have 3 games in 4 days, but, it's one of those things where if you're going to play in the playoffs, you're going to play several games back-to-back. And so the timing of it isn't bad. It's okay. And that's how it got worked out that way. So we plugged it into this Thursday, knowing that we had a game Friday, but we felt like that might work best for us instead of moving it to the Saturday after playing a game and having to turn around and play them the next day.
Yeah.
So that's how it worked out that way. But,
yeah.
golly, they're well coached. They're very talented. They have a piece that every coach would want. Most successful playoff teams have a really, really good point guard, and they do. They've got one of the better kids around. Furnish kid, yeah, he's just very heady, very smart, very talented. Scores it well, passes it maybe better than he scores it. I mean, he's really good, and that's something that you, as a coach, that you want, and that makes them really tough. And Coach Shank really knows what he's doing and does a great job of getting his kids prepared. So it's going to be a big one, yeah.
And I believe they beat you by 14.
Yeah.
So to have a tiebreaker against them, you have to win by 15.
Yeah.
So you'd be elated if you're close to that.
Yeah.
But I don't know if that's even something you can think about against a team of that caliber, since you saw how good they were.
Yeah. Well,
back in December.
It's definitely on our minds. I mean, I've told everybody, I said, we just want to figure out a way to win. I mean, if we can win, that'd be great. If we lose, we lose, but we want to try to figure out a way to win. If it gets to that point where we have a chance, then we may try. We may try to do that if we can, but it's going to be really tough. They're so good, and I don't know that they'll allow that from their side of things. But we want to go play to win, and here's what we know: if we win the game, we're guaranteed a home regional. If we win by 1, if we win by a half, if we win by 100, it doesn't matter. We're guaranteed a home regional, and to get that is big, and that's the motivation. If it were to work out where we we're fortunate enough to beat them by 15 or more, then we get the number 1 spot, and that would be great too. But that's probably that's a long shot, but definitely to beat them is our goal, and we just want to play a better game, and we feel like we're in a position to be able to do that.
Yeah, and the other thing is if you win, and then not by 15, but like you said, you'll take the win. You walk by them in the handshake line, you'll be like, hey, or when you won't say anything to them in the handshake line, but you'll be thinking, hey, I hope you lose to Guthrie. If you lose to them, you'll be saying, hey, go please beat Guthrie that Tuesday.
That's right. That's right.
So, but you know what Coach Hatchett said, similar thing. He mainly wants the home game. He's not much worried about 1 or 2. He mainly wants the home games.
Yeah, district. And I think that's really important to look at. And again, the 1 seed is great. We've been fortunate enough to be that in the past with the rankings, the way the ranking system was. We've been a 3, 2, 3, and a 4 seed before that's been able to host. But it really does make a difference. It gives your kids some motivation. It makes it comfortable for you to be at home. And you have to feel like you have a leg up if you're playing at home. So that's our motivation to try to figure that out. We felt like we put ourselves in a good position with our win at Guthrie on the road to have at least we have some control over our destiny at this point.
Yeah.
And we're appreciative of that, and hopefully we can take advantage of it.
Well, real quick, you've hosted every year since for regionals. You've hosted every year since. Do you remember the last time you had to go on the road? That long ago, huh?
Yeah, I really don't remember.
How long ago?
It's been a while, but we've done it that way before. And it's tougher, but fortunately we've done it that way and still been able to qualify for the tournament. But we've been able to host for several years, and it's a nice deal, and we're certainly going to try to do what we can to make that happen again.
The thing is, this time if you come up short in the regional championship, it's moved to a Friday, and then you have to go turn around and play Saturday. This time.
Yeah.
That's brand new.
Yeah.
I don't even think about that. Like I don't totally understand why they did that, but
I don't either.
Yeah.
I wasn't in on any of the conversations about that. I think it was handled through another committee that I wasn't a part of, which is fine. I mean, that's their decision to do that. If it were up to my vote, I wouldn't have voted for it. This 5A, 6A's never been like that, even back when I played, and that's been a long, long time. It's always been the same format, but I don't. Maybe they're trying to create some more competition. Maybe they're trying to create revenue. I'm not really sure what the basis of it is, but I mean that's the way it is. You can look at it and be upset or not like it, but the bottom line is you're going to play it, you're going to do it, so you need to figure it out and get ready for it. So that's kind of our mindset is, we've told our kids, hey, if we can get in a position to play at home or on the road, either one, let's go win our first 2 games and don't worry about Saturday.
That's right. That's all you got to do. Just win the first 2.
Yeah.
And I have a conspiracy type theory about why they're doing it, but I'll tell you off the air. All right, Coach. Thank you very much. Again, you can support Carl Albert boys basketball by coming to Buffalo Wild Wings and showing them this card. And this lasts until March 31st. So until March 31st, and the Carl Albert boys basketball team will receive 10% of the proceeds. Up next, Carl Albert swimming. It's the Mid-Dale Sports Report on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Where sports is our middle name. We are the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Experience the best wash in town at Tommy's Express. You'll love our open and bright tunnels, easy loading flat belt conveyor, unlimited membership, and free vacuums and mat washers. Experience the difference and visit Tommy's Express today.
Have you ever seen an insurance commercial and asked yourself, are they really telling me the truth? Well, guess what? They're not.
Somebody runs a red light and you think all of a sudden their insurance company's going to be all neighborly about it? Insurance companies aren't in the business of saving you money. They're in the business of keeping your money.
So remember, save our number in your phone so when tragedy strikes,
call Rob and Will.
I want to start a car mechanic shop.
Let's say we go to Scissor Tape.
Ready to go get some coffee?
Yeah, let's go.
You got it.
I think she was from
One,
Rose State.
2, 3.
Woohoo!
Congratulations, Rose State college graduates.
All right, welcome back to the Mid-Dale Sports Report on the Oklahoma Sports Network. Brought to you by Tootie Buys Houses. We buy homes in any condition. If you or someone you know needs to sell a home for any reason, please call Stay for a cash offer. That's 405-931-3046. And here at Buffalo Wild Wings in Dale City, you can come here and support any of your favorite Mid-Dale winter sports teams. And we want to highlight right now Mid-Dale Swimming. We call it Mid-Dale Swimming, so this will cover the swimmers from Dale City, who we'll talk to later on, and Midwest City. And so just show them this card anytime between today and March 31st, and Mid-Dale Swimming will get 10% of the proceeds. And let's talk about it right now with their coach, Josh Norman. All right, Coach, thank you for joining us. We're going to, you know what they say, a picture tells 1,000 words. So we're going to write a book right here. All right, let's go ahead and start things off, Matt. What do we got here?
That is our 400 relay. We had a new school record at regionals. They blew the last one away by 3-4 seconds. The guy at the end of the table here, we'll talk about that here in a minute. He was part of it, and they have more time to drop yet. So,
okay, next. All right, Matt. Next picture.
Well, we set 54 personal records at regionals. That was pretty awesome.
54.
Yeah, wow. That's out of 62 swims. 54 were personal records, so it's pretty cool when you're peaking at the right time. All our kids are going faster than they've ever gone right here in the postseason. So
I think that means you're doing something right in practice.
Very much.
Okay, next.
That was the final score for regionals. So we were the West Regional champs, 100 and something points over Altus and Cassidy. So we've been saying all week, though, we're not done. We've been regional champs before. We've got other stuff to do here in 2 weeks when we go to Jinx. So not 2 weeks, about 10 days.
Okay. So the next one?
Those are our 32 state qualifiers.
32.
We had 14 on the girls' side and, 18 on the guys' side. So we're deep.
Pretty balanced.
We're deep.
All right, now we're showing some pictures at some of the events. So what's
where we're at? Okay.
That's the stuff I saw. I downloaded these on the first
these
few
are
ones you sent me.
Some of our girls yelling for the relay. We won one of the relays. We won 5 of 6 relays at regionals, actually. We won 2 girls and 3 guys. So that was pretty cool.
And then the next one, this looks like, what is this, a butterfly here?
Oh, this is our man, Evan Wilcox, right here. He'll chat with us in a minute about his breaststroke. He dropped 3 seconds.
Breaststroke, okay.
Yeah, he dropped 3 seconds in 100 breast, which is very difficult to do. So he's down to a 105, and he's top 4 in the state right now.
All right.
So I have no idea who that is. We'd have to break down. That's not you, is it? Same suit. That's Journey Blackwell. Okay, yeah. That's Journey Blackwell in an amazing dive.
Okay.
And that's Jackson Lorenz. He's the 3rd-ranked IMer in the state right now.
Pretty good. All right, last one, I believe.
Last one. That was when they broke the record. That was when they broke the school record in the 4x100. And the guy standing here in the blue suit, that's Owen at the end of the table. So he'll tell us about that.
Okay, this is awesome. A lot to talk about. Well, first off, anything that we didn't talk about that happened in the last 3 weeks?
Not really. We've practiced really hard before regionals, and we came away West regional champs and West runner-up on the girls' side. We're excited about that going into state. Right now we're involved in we call it Hell Week. This is very hard practices between regionals and state. It's 7 days where we get up in yardage and we go real fast, and they're not super happy with me right now, and that's okay. Because we'll slow down, we'll taper off a little bit, and they'll be ready to go fast next Thursday.
Okay, so maybe forgetting stuff here, but when we last talked 3 weeks ago, your guys were pumped about going to Owasso, was it?
We went to the Jinx Invitational.
Oh, it's Jinx.
And we took second to Jinx. Jinx is a solid team this year, and by solid, I think they're going to run away with the men's title in 6A. So we did well, though. We broke up their points, and we went toe-to-toe with them on a couple things. So our girls beat the reigning 5A champs in Shawnee at Jinx. Our guys sat right here at this table and talked about how they were ready to get the bad taste out of their mouth with Bishop Kelly. They went up there and they beat Bishop Kelly by 130 something. So I think they feel like they're ready to move on from that. So
a bad taste coming from a loss earlier this year.
A loss last year. They beat us by 1 point. It's 300 to 299. So we were kind of ready to get that out of our heads.
Well, you left no doubt.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, let's talk about the swimmers you have with us here.
This is our women's team captain, Helen.
Back to see Helen again.
And she is our backstroker, and she's going to be pushing for an individual title in the backstroke. And then we have Evan Wilcox. He is our resident breaststroker. He is the breaststroke captain, if you will, and he is currently about a 25 to 28 point human in the state meet. Including his relay. At the very end is Owen, who is one of our guys that helped set the new school record in the 4x100. Smashed the new school record, actually. So.
All right. Great to talk to you. We'll start with Helen and Evan, and we'll get Owen in here in a second. Helen, how you feeling now? I mean, all this swimming, you getting tired? Or?
Well, it's tough for sure, but it's great. The push at the end and everything.
Well, what's the most exciting thing you've been a part of in the last 3 weeks? Because you were here 3 weeks ago, too.
Yeah. I think regionals really got kind of our girls kind of ready for state. We're really pushing, trying to win that title, and our girls team is really, really working these past 3 weeks. So.
And are you one of the vocal leaders?
I would say, yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So when you're part of the relay teams, right?
Yes.
So when that happens, when you're out of the pool, are you yelling at whoever's swimming, or?
Yeah, for sure.
Very good. Evan, so you breaststroke, is that correct?
Yeah.
What makes you decide that's the style you want to go with?
I mean, pretty much the first summer swim practice, one of the first ones we did stroke, and naturally I just did breaststroke, and Coach K looked down at me while I was swimming and was like, wait, do that again. And then he kind of taught me how to do it, and I got pretty fast at it quick. And I just naturally love it.
Coach K being Kurt Norman, who's here with us here. Happy to see you here, Kurt. Kirk. And, okay, so same question. What's been the most exciting thing for you the last 3 weeks?
Definitely regionals. I mean, regionals, there was just so much energy all over the deck from CA. Everyone was just supporting each other really well. And, I mean, we just had a blast. We won it, but we're not done. This isn't what we're here to win.
Okay, so when you have something that exciting going on at regionals like you talk about, is that a loud bus ride back? Are you guys so pumped that
Definitely, yeah. It's just we're all excited to celebrate with each other, you know. We got a good talk by the coach.
Coach, were you in the bus? Does that get loud?
I was on the bus. It was better bus ride on the way home than it was on the way there. So.
Okay.
Definitely.
Where did you go and eat somewhere?
No, we went home. Well, we came home and we had some leftover pasta because we had a pasta dinner.
Well, you burned all those calories too.
We did.
Yeah,
definitely.
We did.
Some of the boys went to eat afterwards. We always celebrate.
What's a good post-game meal for a swimmer?
Really anything with high carbs and protein, I guess.
Yep. Do you have a personal favorite?
I mean, after regionals, we went to a taco place.
Tacos, okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's definitely got protein if it's good enough meat in there.
Definitely.
All right, if you could hand the headset off to Owen.
While he's handing that off, he's fourth in the state in breaststroke, and he's a couple milliseconds behind second and third, so he's got a lot of movement possible.
Helen, but first off, do you have a favorite post-swim meal?
I don't know. Anything with protein, anything sounds good.
Okay. Well, we should get some protein here at Buffalo Wild Wings when we're done.
They're under duress.
Yeah.
They can't say they're real post-game meal because I'm here. So it's entrapment.
All right, fair enough. Okay, Owen, so what's your swim again?
I swim the 50 free and the 100 freestyle.
Okay, so you're the sprinter.
Yes, sir.
So you're just in and out of the pool like that, right? Like really quickly?
I mean, pretty much. Like
when
all my
does it,
events are like back-to-back, so I just go in and get out, and they're pretty quick.
And, I mean, what do you like about – when did you know, like, hey, I'm more of a sprinter when it's more so than a distance guy?
Well, honestly, like –
He started as breaststroke.
Yeah, I started as breaststroke, and I swam the 50 my first year, and I sucked at it. I wasn't really good, and I just kind of got stuck with the 100 free, and it was something that I liked doing. And I just decided to work hard and get to it, and then I did breaststroke, and my breaststroke, I don't know, it just didn't click with me. And then
his breaststroke's top 15 in the state, but through his relays, we realized that he was a lot faster in 2 sprint events, so we threw him over there, and he's now top 5 in both.
Okay, well, you can't do everything, right?
Yeah.
And what year are you?
I'm a senior.
Okay. Do you hope to swim after high school?
I've thought about it, but I'm still undecided what I want to do in my future.
Okay. And is it the same with you? The regionals just left you really pumped. You felt good about how you did. I mean, would that basically sum it up?
Yes, sir. I was really proud of everyone. People dropped like PRs that they didn't even believe. Like seeing people's face when they PR is like the best thing ever.
Well, and you just need to capture whatever that was heading into that, and hopefully, I don't know, maybe it was something in the water. It's probably just, again, like I said, the practice that was going on. All right, we're going to take a quick break, but we're not done with talking Mid-Dell swimming because we're going to talk to a Del City swimmer and another Carl Albert swimmer career coming up, so it'll be a quick break. We'll be back with more on the Mid-Dell Sports Report on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
If you've lived in Oklahoma long enough, you'll know that we get extreme weather. With that extreme weather comes hail damage to your roof and an insurance claim. When that happens, there's not a better company to deal with on your insurance claim than Cantrell Roofing and Construction. Since 1987, Cantrell Roofing and Construction has proven to be the best in the business, and always remember, got hail? Call Cantrell. Call them at 405-642-8558.
All right, welcome back, and more Carl Albert swimming here. All right, Coach, who we got here? It's Ben, right?
Yes, sir.
Ben and TJ, but I got to apologize. I had not remembered your last name. So.
No, that's all right. It's Ben Sutterfield and TJ Townsend.
Okay. And TJ, of course, is the Carl Albert producer, but he's a Del City student for during the football games. He helps Kirk out a lot. All right, guys. So same questions. We're getting the same theme here. Regionals was it. Ben, what can you say about how good regionals went for you and how much you enjoyed it?
For one, our competition was really ourselves. Like racing the 50 free, I was racing Owen. Owen ended up beating me in that one. But I would like to say our team culture going into that, and just like our culture behind the blocks, was something you don't see from any other team. Just the way we cheer for each other and we're truly there for each other is something that it's unheard of. I like to think we're kind of setting a precedent in Oklahoma swim and the way a team works and moves together.
That's what it sounds like. Now, TJ, you had a different event that same time, right? Or that same weekend?
No, that's at regionals. He's with us at regionals.
Yeah, he was there.
Okay. How'd it go for you?
It went really good. I was really proud of the work that I put in, and it's really starting to show. So it makes me really happy. And it was the last meet with my full team because they're all first years and they didn't make it to state. But next year I'm really excited for how that relay is going to look, and I'm very confident that we'll make it.
Yes, because you're the anchor, not the literal as in last swimmer anchor of the relay team, but you're kind of the foundation for the Del Sur swimmers. So,
and he swims all strokes, so he's a good teacher.
Well, pretty versatile here. So Ben, you're getting to the stretch run here. It's not already the stretch run, and you're a senior, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I mean, you're kind of about to be done with this Carl Albert swimming thing. Does it feel a little bittersweet?
Oh yeah, of course. I love my team, but I mean, I'm excited to be out of high school, but I'm definitely gonna miss my team for sure.
Do you know what you want to do after high school, as far as where you go to college or what you want to do?
Not really sure yet. No, sir.
Yeah, you'll have time to think about that in a few weeks.
Yeah.
But TJ, is this leaving you more excited for next year?
Oh yeah, definitely. I'm ready. Yeah. I'm ready to work even harder than I did this year for sure. I'm ready to be able to build on to other new people that come in, especially.
All right, I'm going to ask you guys first, and then Coach Dormer can fill in on this some. What are you looking forward to next?
Well, of course, state. I'm excited, first of all, just to travel with my team again, but to go up there and perform at state. And we're in the middle of what we call Hell Week at the moment, of just a lot of yards, a lot of swimming, getting a lot of good repetitions in, of making sure that we're perfection in all that we do. We're saying not garbage yardage and everything that we're doing. It's for a purpose, and we're really particular about how we're swimming, where we're placing our hands, how we're pulling water, all of that. But I'm excited to see that pay off at state for sure, because we definitely have a really strong postseason team, whereas a lot of people will taper for a long time. Taper as in they don't swim as much yards so that they feel their body feels fresher and they're not as tired, I suppose. But we're the team that gets stronger in our postseason, meaning regionals and state. And the week between regional state, I believe last year we had people such as Jackson Laurent dropping insane amounts of time, like ungodly. Shouldn't have ever happened, but it's because the way we build up in postseason is something that no one's really ever seen before.
All right, TJ?
Yeah, it's definitely state. Knowing that there's 1 week left is a great feeling. It almost gives you bloodlust after seeing your regional stands. You just want to beat every single person that's ahead of you. So it's a good feeling.
Yeah, you got a clear goal all of a sudden. You know who beat you, and you're ready to go get them for sure.
Okay. Coach, what is this Hell Week I keep hearing of?
This is when it's partly our facility's very small. We're very thankful for it. But it's a very small pool. It's 32 athletes in 4 lanes. So we up the yardage. We've matched one of the biggest workouts we did all year yesterday, and we're doing things fast. The intervals get short, the swims get long, and Coach K and I become very driven on deck. I'll use the word driven.
It means drill sergeant.
Drill sergeant, yeah. Yep. So we're not afraid to work hard, but like he was saying, a lot of people will slow down and back off between regionals and state, trying to make people feel good. We swim well when we're tight and when we're strong. So it's kind of knowing their bodies and figuring out how to work that for the next 6 days. And just to touch on what Ben said, we're always teaching, we're always learning. I was proud of the team. At regionals, we had on the bus ride there, we had some discipline we had to enact. And I had to be the bad guy, but they responded incredibly well, and they swam with their hair on fire, regardless of that. And then they just responded beautifully, as I would have had any team respond. So.
You know, it's hard to see you as a drill sergeant. I can see your dad as a drill sergeant.
Anyone is welcome to come to practice, and you can decide for yourself.
By the way, I think I saw on Facebook, Kirk, is it your birthday? Yesterday was his birthday. Okay, happy birthday to Kirk Norman. Again, he's the one who calls all those state championship wins for Carl Albert football. So
he is the Mad Hatter of 5A. He pulled 3 championships out of nowhere.
Yeah, and then he's got the swimming acumen for sure.
Mm-hmm.
All right, when is state? What are the dates exactly, and where is it?
15th and 16th, Thursday and Friday of next week in Jinx, which is great because they are comfortable in Jinx.
That's why we were so excited to go to Jinx, because it was a dry run of state.
Yes.
It's the same two-day thing. So
yeah, our team swims well at Jinx, so that definitely feels like a home court.
You guys definitely love the water there. And so 15th and 16th state at Jinx. Is that a Friday, Saturday?
Yes, that's Thursday and Friday, and it's prelims finals. So we'll go seed the meet, and then day 2 is where all the points are earned. So.
Okay, and then that'll be it?
That'll be it.
Okay, so you heard it, guys. 15th and 16th at Jinx. Hopefully we'll get a lot of updates on social media.
Mm-hmm.
I can tell you this, there won't be much basketball going on those days, so let's put the attention on swimming. Will it be streamed?
It will be live streamed on. I don't know where they're going to stream it, but it'll be live streamed.
Just keep your eyes up for social media posts. Maybe as we get closer, they'll post the link. And normally, I don't want to point to anyone else for streaming, but for Carl Albert Swimming, definitely, and especially since it's in Jinx. So
yep, we love the support.
Yeah, so let's go check that out again. And I guess that's part of the reason you have Hell Week, is you got some time to rest.
We do, yeah. We're going to work really hard all the way to Saturday, and then we'll back off a little bit.
All right. So. There's the card if you want to support Mid-Dell Swimming by coming to Buffalo Wild Wings between now and March 31st. Mid-Dell Swimming gets 10% of the proceeds. All right. We thank the swimmers for coming on. We love having them on. They always come with a lot of people, and it's great for me to learn more about the sport for sure. Coming up next, we're going to talk Carl Albert Wrestling right here on the Mid-Dell Sports Report on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Red Plains Plumbing has been offering reliable commercial and residential services to the OKC metro area for over a decade. From new construction and remodeling to residential repair, they can handle jobs of all sizes. When you need a trusted name in plumbing, it's Red Plains Plumbing. Family owned and operated. Phone 405-769-1922. That's 405-769-1922.
College is more than just going to class. College is a journey. It's meeting new people and making new friendships that will last a lifetime. It's learning from professors who care about you and your success. And finding out it can be really fun and rewarding. It's discovering that thing you want to do for the rest of your life. Cameron University is all about helping you grow and succeed. Because your success is our success.
When it comes to your home, you need someone that you can trust to keep it safe and protected for you and your family.
Vesta Foundation Solutions is your local, family-owned company that has helped many homeowners fix and protect their homes.
Our engineered solutions can take care of all of your foundation repair, basement waterproofing, concrete leveling, and dirt crawl space repair needs.
We take pride in getting the job done right, and you'll always be protected with up to a 75-year warranty.
Contact us today for a free estimate.
Where sports is our middle name. We are the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Okay, we're back here. Sorry, I had a bit of a wardrobe malfunction here. We are back at Buffalo Wild Wings for the Mid-Dell Sports Report, brought to you again by Toonie Buys Houses. We buy homes in any condition. If you or someone you know needs to sell a home for any reason, please call us today for a cash offer, 405-931-3046. And you can support all the Middale wrestling teams between now and March 31st by coming here to Buffalo Wild Wings, where we have the show. But any day of the week, doesn't have to be during the show, you can come and support whatever Middale sports teams, winter sports teams, I should say, basketball, swimming, and, of course, we're about to talk wrestling. And we're specifically going to talk Crawlborough wrestling, but be sure to come to Buffalo Wild Wings also for the games on and the food and all the excitement that takes place here in Del City. We appreciate them immensely. Okay, happy to be talking Crawlborough wrestling with their coach, Kurt Hodges. All right, first, Matt, let's go ahead and show some of the pictures he sent us. And, Coach, what can you say about what we're seeing here?
Well, this is after our district dual win against El Reno, which advanced us to dual state coming up this weekend. Just team photo afterwards. El Reno was ranked, I think, number 10, and we were ranked 7th or 8th. So it was a really good duel, back and forth from the beginning. Exciting duel. I was hoping more people could have saw it because that's kind of what wrestling is all about, is that type of duel. Mm-hmm. But we were kids wrestled really well with a lot of energy and had a lot of fight in them, and it paid off in the end. So it was a good win for us, and so now we get to go to dual state this weekend.
All right, let's look at another one.
This is from our senior night. We wrestled Midwest City, and we got quite a few seniors. We have a couple managers that have been with us for 4 years, and then, of course, our guys, most of them have been with us for 4 years, and so we honored them. Kind of our tradition is we do a shadow box with a singlet, and they pick a medal that they have won at some point in time in their career, and the parents put them together. It's really nice, a nice way to remember them, and they also get a senior blanket. So just a little thank you from us for all they've done to the program, and so it was a good night. Got a win, and all of them got to wrestle, so that was good.
Before we get to the next picture, I mean, this is a senior class that helped bring you a state championship last year, so was anything unique you can say about this group besides what I added there?
Well, they've been really good for the past 4 years, including this year, and they've just kind of steadily built themselves up and have gotten better each year. So they really have made an impact on our program for tons of positive reasons. And so they've won a couple other tournaments the past few years, and this is the second time they get to qualify for dual state. This group also has been the highest placer at the Malcolm Wade tournament, which is a really tough tournament in 5A. So they've had a lot of accomplishments, a lot of individual accomplishments, and so I think with the postseason coming around, there's going to be more of that coming around, and then I think some of them will, we can get 2 of them selected probably for All-State, and I think that's going to happen as well. So it's just been a really good 4 years for them and really good 4 years for our program, and really can't thank them enough because they've really elevated us to another level.
All right, let's show the last picture, Matt.
Okay, so this was I'd sent a little clip video. So this was a big win for us in the district duels.
I have to apologize,
yeah,
by the way.
No
we got it. It was just came in picture form, maybe. I couldn't make a video out of it.
Okay.
So, but
no problem. I'll just kind of set it up. It was Caden Longstreet was wrestling another state qualifier from El Reno, and really tough match back and forth. We're down a couple points. 20-some-odd seconds left. We got to have a takedown. The team, team races and team score is dependent upon a win for both teams in a sense. And Caden gets a big fall in the last, 10 seconds of the match to, get us a 6-point win, for the team, and also kind of give us a little bit of cushion going into the last match, which we won by fall as well. So just a really good way to end. Especially for Caden. Like I said, he's returning state qualifier, and it's just a really big win, and happy for him as a senior to kind of go out that way, especially on a district dual night.
Okay, so we talked about your victory against El Reno.
Yes.
Midwest City.
Yes.
Any other highlights in the last 3 weeks since we last talked to you?
Well, we went to Chickasha and wrestled a tournament there. Prior to Chickasha at the end of January, we went to Owasso and wrestled in the Owasso duels. We were a little dinged up from our tournament, and so we didn't, have quite the dual squad we wanted, but we were able to get a lot of good matches in for the individuals going forward, prepping for the postseason. But for the most part, getting healthy for district duels was our goal because you want to win that. I know that, every duel is important, but we just felt like it was, if we could get healthy for then, and the weather kind of helped us out a little bit. Believe it or not, Mother Nature did us a solid and kind of extended it a little bit with the snow and ice. So that pushed us, about a week later, which gave us more time to heal, and we were able to get everybody in the lineup. And when we have everybody in the lineup, we're pretty good.
Okay, and so since you're now closing in on going for state,
yes.
Does practice, do they change any? I mean, like, do you have to lower the intensity? Do you have to do anything different with the wrestlers? Do they want to go at it more, or how would you say that?
Well, practice, a lot of the hardest work is done, December, January, and then when we get into February, we back off a little bit. Most of our technique is kind of down. We're just trying to sharpen positions, and kind of finalize a few things. But for the most part, it's, practices are a little bit shorter. They are, just as intense or a little bit more intense than they have been, say, in the past. But, the guys know that, as you're kind of getting down towards the end of it, that, you're not trying to wear your bodies out. You're just trying to kind of, like I said, get healthy, finalize some stuff, just kind of, tweak your shape a little bit. But for the most part, we're in good shape. We are, in good position to improve upon some things. And I think that as we, wrap up here in the last couple of weeks, I mean, the whole goal is just to fine-tune things and really just be peaking at the right moment.
So practice at this point is mostly about technique?
Yeah, mostly technique. I mean, we drill, we wrestle live a little bit, but, on Mondays and Tuesdays, you go a little bit harder and you kind of back off towards the end of the week. And then you kind of work on, making sure you're getting your weight down for our event Saturday. So, and that's a kind of a benefit. We wrestle on Saturday, so we get another day to kind of prepare. And, but yeah, it's everything is in a kind of polishing mode right now. And, we're on a good trajectory. And I think that if we continue to do that, we'll put ourselves in a good position to, have some success here.
And you already mentioned it. You had to deal with some injuries recently. So, I mean, I imagine that's a factor, too. And how would you say you manage injuries at this point? And where are you guys health-wise now?
Well, it's, you have to take care of the individual, number one, because if they're hurt and they can't go 100%, especially in a wrestling match or any athletic event, you're at a disadvantage. And, that can hurt their, mental capacity and everything. That can, hurt their confidence. So, if you have to sacrifice a little bit here and there, we do that. I mean, because we have to have 14 strong individuals, and if we don't have that, that does affect us going forward into regionals and states. So, if we need to give a kid a day off at practice because he's a little bit banged up or, just needs some time away from the mat, we'll do it. This is not, back in the day when, you push through a lot of things. I mean, not that you don't push through injuries, but there's a little bit more care with it. But, wrestling's a pretty, you pound on your bodies a lot.
Yep.
And, you're, usually losing a little bit of weight and, going sacrificing a few things. So, you gotta treat it with a little bit more of in a, kind of a smart way. And I think that, we've done a pretty good job of doing that because we did get everybody healthy for district duels. And we did have a couple guys that were struggling just because they hadn't been able to work out because they had, like an ankle injury and stuff. So they just had to be tough. And we got tough kids, and they figured it out and, got some big wins for us. So.
Yeah, just as physical as wrestling is, I imagine there's a fine line to manage that type of deal.
Yes.
Because they got to be accumulating some soreness, you would think.
Yeah, I mean, we've got some guys with some black eyes and some cuts and, lots of bumps and bruises. But like I said, they're tough kids, and and they just go in there and they just hook up and get after it, and and that's what makes wrestlers unique.
Absolutely. So again, let's go over some of the future dates here.
Okay.
And where.
So Saturday we'll be at Enid at the Stride Bank Center. We wrestle at 12 o'clock. We're going to wrestle Coweta in the quarterfinal round, which there's 4 other duels going on. Coweta's the number 1 seed. We're the 8th seed, which seeds really don't matter. All you want to do is get there and then, perform your best and let it go, see what happens. And if we win, we wrestle at 2 o'clock. And if and it's kind of a one and done unless you get to the finals. So if we are wrestling in the evening at 6:30, that would be for the championship. So that's just ahead of us this week. The following weekend, we go to Duncan for the 5A West Regionals on Friday and Saturday, and then week after that, State is kind of a new format. It's a Thursday, Friday, Saturday because of girls, and kind of breaking it up into sessions. In the past, it's always been a 2-day event, so this year it's going to be 3. So basically dual state, regionals for state, and then the big state tournament, and then the season will be over.
And one more time, what are the dates for the big state?
Big state will be the last weekend in February, so I believe the 23rd, 24th, or 22nd through the 24th, around there. And so, yeah, I mean, we basically just have 3 weekends of competition, and that's what we've been working for, and we're ready.
Now, do individuals who do well, do they get their own individual state?
Yes, and so dual state is a team event where you're just wrestling the 14 weights against each other, and then take the score and you advance to the next round. So the regionals, then you qualify individuals from each weight, and the most you can have are 14. And then those individuals then qualify for the state tournament. And technically, really, I mean, I've always kind of said the state tournament is more like an individual tournament because one team might have 2 guys qualify, one team might have 14 guys qualify. Last year I kind of mentioned that winning a state title or team trophy at the big state tournament is really a bonus because a lot of teams aren't in the running because they just don't have enough kids qualify, but they can have individual state champions. So. But yeah, our goal is to get as many as we can. We've had up to 9 or 10 in the past, and so we've got 10 kids ranked right now in the top 6. So our goal is to get everybody there, but it's looking good for us.
And this will be at the big house.
It'll be down at the fairgrounds, yes, and it's quite an event. It's a big time deal.
And it is, I believe, since it's such a big deal, it will be streamed.
Yes, on Flow Wrestling or Track Wrestling. I think it's going to be on Track, so you can, if you have a Track account, you can watch the individual matches on that mat. So on the 5A mats, there'll be 2 of them, and it just goes incrementally by weight from the lowest to the highest, and you can just zone in on the mat and click on it, and when our guys come up, you can watch them.
Okay, and the next time we hope to talk wrestling, whoever's been very successful, would be 3 weeks from now, February 28th. It sounds like we'll have a good idea of who that will be. But even after February 28th, you can still support Carl Albert Wrestling as well as the other Mid-Dell wrestling teams. So we're going to show that one more time. That goes till March 31st. You can come here to Buffalo Wild Wings in Dell City for that. And just to give you a heads up of what's coming up next, tomorrow, Carl Albert hosting Crossings in Basketball Friday. Senior night at Midwest City, they host Lawton MacArthur. The following Tuesday, the Altus OSN crew will actually be coming up to Carl Albert to handle that, but we'll make sure they recognize the seniors. There will be senior night there. And then the playoffs start the following Tuesday for girls regionals. And we will not be back on the air for another 2 weeks. On February 21st, we hope to talk Dell City winter sports on that date. And a lot to look forward to there. And then February 28th, any wrestling champs, whether it's team or individual, we want to have back on, along with Mid-Dell Swimming as well. And so we're looking forward to that. And any basketball teams that make the state tournament in March, that following Wednesday, March 4th, will be the day before the 5A state tournament. If we have any teams still playing, and we kind of expect that, we hope to talk to them on that day. So some things to look forward to. But next week is Valentine's Day, so we will be taking a break so you can do something very fun on that night. All right, we want to thank again everyone for helping us out, all the coaches, of course, and all the athletes. Matt for producing, Amaya for helping with the camera, and Alicia for being a very loyal and great production assistant. And we look forward to being back with you in 2 weeks right here on the Mid-Dell Sports Report on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Thanks for watching this presentation of the Oklahoma Sports Network.